Opinions and ideas expressed in the following Moraine Valley Broadcast Channel recording are those of its creators and do not represent the views of Moraine Valley Community College.
Hi, I'm Keegan. We're here to this is the Fight for 15 podcast. We're here to tell you today about why we're here to support the Fight for 15.
I support it because people money for their families. It won't raise any of the prices, and there are a lot of hardworking people that deserve more money.
I'm Desiree. Where I support the Fight for 15, it saves people money from paying for fast food workers' welfare and like food stamps. Also, another reason is just to be aware of other jobs like college professors and child health care. They get paid less too, and it's just like the Fight for 15 inspires them to fight for getting more of a higher raise pay as well.
I'm Mitch, and I also support the Fight for 15 because it costs us more money every year just to have fast food workers and low minimum wage workers working for it, getting the benefits from the government. It costs us over $153 billion a year.
Of all people, it's the fast food workers who have the strongest argument for it. According to the UC Berkeley study, nearly $200 billion a year is coming from these fast food workers alone in welfare. That's not including the other low-paid jobs, such as the college professors. It's some fast food companies alone who are chalking up that much money to other people.
Hi, my name is Ryan Jelinek. So for McDonald's workers, I think that they should get more pay because over in other countries they get paid more, and the food prices are still the same. So it shouldn't make a difference here. And they're hard workers, so they deserve more, even though people think they're just like burger flippers and stuff like that, and they get looked down on. But they're people just like everybody else, so I think they should get more.
The Fight for 15 is good for McDonald's workers and other fast food workers because anybody that's working 40 hours plus a week should not be living underneath the poverty line. It's very understandable for people to make the argument saying that they're lazy and they didn't try in life to go get a job, but when you look at it, they're trying to support a family and they're working more hours than most people work, and they're making a lot less money. And if we just raised it that little amount, their lives and benefits will go up, and it'll stop costing us money, and it might get them closer to over the poverty line.
Other jobs like child health care and part-time college professors, those kind of jobs also pay less and around the poverty line, just like fast food workers. And that's why I say, hey, the Fight for 15 may inspire them to also kind of fight to increase their payments when they work. From research, I get these questions that are like, it's not fair for fast food workers to be the only ones that get $15 for a raise an hour. But because they don't have college degrees and stuff, but if you really take a look, there's jobs that have degrees, but they pay even less or just maybe a little more than fast food workers, but they are not paying enough for the minimum wage, and they have a hard time just keeping things together and just supporting themselves or supporting family if they have children or just have family in general.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's BS that these people, the majority of them, like a college professor or child healthcare workers, all have college degrees. Like a family healthcare provider, a nurse going to someone's home as a registered nurse. These people have gone through college. College now, according to Forbes, $112,000 to go to a public school, $237,000 to get a 4-year degree from a private school. These are all expected to raise by 6.5%. There's no way that these people are going to support a family, pay off college tuition, making $7.50 an hour. That's just impossible to do. So
yeah, I agree with both you guys about the Fight for 15 movement, especially on this case, because one of the main arguments against McDonald's workers or other fast food workers is that somebody will say, oh, I don't make $15 an hour, why should they? Well, if you have a college degree and you worked hard for it, I understand why you should be upset about this. But also, in so many ways that even if the wages were raised for $15 an hour for fast food workers, it might show how much more beneficial it is for them, just that extra $5 an hour. So that might actually help get your wages raised up from like healthcare workers or anybody else with a college degree that's making less than $15 an hour. And even if that alone doesn't do it, it might make everybody kind of wake up and try and fight for it themselves in their own industries that they're in, not just fast food workers.
All right, I agree with that. There's no way you're going to be hiring college professors or nurses who are going to be working for less than someone who's working at McDonald's. Not saying that McDonald's workers should be paid less than them, but these companies are going to have to start paying their employees more just because that's how the economy works.
Exactly, and like I think it'll just make the economy better. And a lot of people like look down on it like it'll just make it worse or like it's just not fair. But I mean, if it makes the economy better, it helps everybody and not just the fast food workers, you know.
Yeah, and like you were saying with comparing these jobs to another jobs, you got people out here comparing fast food workers to paramedics, and this is why people shouldn't be getting their money raised. Well, when you frame it like that, obviously it doesn't sound good. These people are in the back of ambulances saving lives, but these people also have a college degree. It takes 2 years to get your paramedics license on top of college courses. So it's just an argument to help them out too, because they obviously should be getting paid more than $15 an hour if they're doing all this training, constantly going through, getting their continuous educations done. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, everybody deserves more. It's not just the fast food workers. Like, you know, people talk about fast food workers, but they should just try to fight for themselves to get paid more. You know what I mean?
It's kind of sad how there would be jobs that require like degrees, but they don't even pay enough for the people to support themselves as well. It's just sad just to find out about that stuff when you're just looking around researching or just trying to get an understanding of fast food workers in the fight of 15. You also discover these kind of things as well that go on.
Well, also too that people say that, oh, if McDonald's starts paying $15 an hour, I'm just going to quit my job and work for McDonald's, when realistically making $15 an hour is only about $30-something thousand a year. Right. That's not much really to live off of, especially if you plan on having a family and have a house. That's not possible. But if anything, it could actually help out college students. Like, that's another argument people make, is that, oh, McDonald's or Burger King or Taco Bell, that's a job for college students or people that aren't or people that just graduated high school or something, not 40-year-old men. But it could actually help out a lot of college students now that if they're making $15 an hour, it could help them pay for food and stuff while they're away from home, pay off their debt, save up a bit of money. It's beneficial to not just people that are on the picket line striking for this, but also for the people who are just coming in trying to get a starting job.
Exactly. You're going to be taking all these people. They're not going to be living by miraculous standards, but you're going to be taking a lot of people off welfare, which is going to save hundreds of billions of dollars, which could go into getting everyone.
It'll just help the whole economy out.
Grants for college, making it easier for people to go to college.
Also, they help get skills for high school students, just a background knowledge of skills in a way for future careers and future jobs.
According to the Fair Labor Standards Act of 1938, it states that the minimum standard of living necessary for health efficiency and general well-being is by law required for people in America to live off of. So since in 1938 the minimum wage was equivalent to $10.51 in today's dollars, which was enough for people to live off of, make a living, support families. But since then, it has never increased. Today, the average minimum wage is $7.25 an hour, which is 31% less than what the wage was worth in 1938.
Calculating the medium wage, which is like $7.25, it's like right below, like right between the poverty line. That's why fast food workers and other workers who have to pay less, they're fighting for the 515. And family, just by yourself, to get out of the poverty line or just be above it, is like around the 2,000. And what they make, when you calculate how much hours they spent and how much money they spent per hour, they can barely take care of themselves. And if they have like children, it's even worse. It's really difficult because it's just they're not making enough and they're barely like above poverty level. They need assistance.
The argument for what minimum wage should or shouldn't be has always been discussed, but it makes very little progress, especially with so many people wanting to keep it down. But I know the Fight for 15 is more focused on low-wage workers or fast food workers, but if the Fight for 15 can gain momentum and get some progress, it could shine a light on the minimum wage and show how just easily it could help out somebody who needs more money and more assistance in life, not just making the average $7.25 an hour, especially if they're trying to raise a family themselves.